also in case I think there's more activity from the members here, so because some of our members are on the multi-sig, and like Dion was one, and she just bailed, and Sponge was another. So
Yeah,
I think for
that's
the event,
totally
it's good.
fine, and know how it goes. You get user turnover and attrition, especially in bears or whatever we happen to be kind of market.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's,
You know
it's,
what?
it's also good for some oversight, I feel, to have like a member of the Treasury team also on the multi-sig, or an independent one.
I think that's a cool policy, just in general. Like that'd be a fun,
Yeah.
any sub DAO or something, just have some kind of like, I don't know, non-affiliate member of the DAO as part of it. It's a responsibility, but anyway.
Yeah. Agreed.
You going to ETH
Are
Denver?
you eat Denver? No, I'm not. I'm in Rio for Carnival. It's warm here. I know it's sunny. The beach is nice.
Yeah, good for you. Very nice. I am going. I'm heading out next Tuesday, and you know, uh, preparing for the onslaught. I don't know, taking my vitamin D, taking my zinc. um,
Yeah. I mean, last time it was cold, but it was sunny. It was very weird. I remember that one day, like, people were getting sunburned when we were standing in line for like last year.
I remember. That's right.
We were waiting in line for the castle for 2 hours. That was ridiculous.
I remember and people rolling through, and then us talking to economics with a PhD major, and then we finally got in.
Yeah. And then it was chaos.
And then it was absolutely chaos.
That was funny.
Yeah, I think
Well, good luck this year at school.
yeah, thank
Godspeed.
you. Thank you. 'Cause I feel it. It was my first crypto conference last year, and I feel more prepared. I get like Vitalik walks around in like a bear suit and stuff like that. I think yeah.
We're having
I
It's supposed to be better organized.
we're having
Sorry, Ernest?
we're having a panel at Dow Denver, and Vitalik's mother is going to be on it. They got this
That's
Vitalik's got this new project
amazing.
called Chorus. It's pretty interesting.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I
Alex
think
Mother.
yeah, I need to go just because like I know Joe's speaking. Um
Yeah, and we still got rooms at the Radisson. All the hotels are selling out. So if you find anybody
yeah,
that needs a room, just tell them to go to housing on the Dow Denver website.
okay, yeah, rock on. Um yeah, I've got James and Frog. I've got a Airbnb that's walkable to the event space, so um that's a it's funny to me. There's a number of us that are like, oh, I'd love to do just some stuff in Denver, and then like, I think a few people are like going rock climbing or going to museums rather than going to the events and stuff, which I think is like there's like a healthy coping mechanism that's happening there, where it's like people are like toast from the markets and more like I don't know, crypto takes a toll. Okay, we'll get started in 1 second. Ernest, is there a way I can get, because like tickets for Dow Denver are like what? They're like 156 or something?
Oh, you can get it free if you uh basically you just join our Discord. So it's like the same model as Sport DAO. We got free tickets if you basically just join our Discord. You got to go to the
Okay.
Eventbrite and
Okay.
get the but
I might,
if
I'll
it's
message you. I'll message you afterward, and I'll
yeah.
get some instructions.
Yeah, the free ticket is like general admission. So the people that pay for tickets will always get into the event if it's somehow, just like a packed house and we have to start not admitting people, then the people with the free passes are the ones that won't get admitted.
Got it. Got
But
it.
we can hold
Okay.
500 people, so unless it's just super nuts, we don't expect to
Yeah.
have that problem.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
we got we're doing a pitch competition with DAO Lens. We just worked out a thing with Thrive Coin, and doing stuff with CityDAO, having a whole like day of programming around decentralized science with decentralized science DAO, and then we got
that's cool.
tons of
That's
things.
super. That's cool. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I've gotten more experience in Airtables in the past 2 weeks than I ever have.
Yeah, that's a thing. Airtables are, yeah.
Yeah,
People management, huh? Or stuff management.
information management.
Yeah.
It's one of the main reasons why I'm in DAO Planet is to learn how to do spreadsheets from Steve.
Oh, rock on. Okay. Let's kick it off. We've got, just usual update going on today. Some fun announcements, some updates on the working groups and different proposals, and also maybe some short analysis. We got some different liquidity pools popping up from contributors that I think it'd be fun to take a quick look at. Tomahawk, would you be up for giving a short how are we looking in the markets? Yeah, I'll stop sharing. Unless I caught you flat-footed. If not, okay, there you go. You're muted, by the way.
No worries. Kind of still an unresolved situation, I guess. You guys can see my screen. Thumbs up.
Yep.
Total crypto market cap still looking to hold 1 trillion. Kind of a pullback test right now. Making sure that we really broken out. We could see some further downside back into the 200-day exponential moving average. Some reset expected on the stochastic, so wave action is looking like pullback maybe still for at least over the weekend. Minus Bitcoin, altcoin is not really any stronger, I guess. Bitcoin's still looking closer to a big breakout than anything else. Total 3, that's everything except for Bitcoin and ETH. Same, kind of pulling back. We have seen a lot of individual altcoins doing great lately. Optimism is a good example of that. But in aggregate, I guess we're not really looking like alt breakout necessarily before Bitcoin, I don't think. But that's just how it looks right now. So yeah, we kind of testing a breakout, but Bitcoin's kind of failing to get above this 24K line. Probably a pullback to 22 is likely. Same stochastic situation. We're kind of like cyclically, doing these waves. So we're waving down. ETH, pretty similar to that. Same wave action, same unresolved, trying to break out situation. But as long as we stay up here, that's a good sign to me. If we're pressing on that resistance, you can only press so many times before it fails. Happy to hear anyone else's perspective as I look for the bank chart.
Yeah, no, it looks like got a healthy correction incoming.
Yeah,
Healthy
so the
correction.
correction is when you test how strong the breakout really was, right? If everybody's
Mhm.
willing to take that quick and easy profit, then you're really not much better off than you were before the pump. But if it holds up and more buyers step in at these, cheaper prices, then you have a base to build from. Bank recently hit new lows. We were talking about that last week, but we pulled back above. And I haven't reset the fibs yet, but it's looking like this might last as a permanent low if we get some follow through here, because it's kind of a rounded bottom look. But yeah, stochastic wise, doesn't look great. There is some bullish divergence. That's always nice to see. On RSI, you have a higher low on RSI when you have a lower low in price. So there's a potential for a retest here up at 7,000 Gwei. But that's really the long-term moving average that we can kind of shoot for a short-term goal. I don't know what that means in terms of dollar price, but not much change since previous weeks.
Yeah, the
Hand it back
dollar
to you guys.
value on bank looks a little better, but that's just because when ETH goes up, right? So we could see like sideways or downwards movement relative to ETH, but if ETH's going up relative to the dollar, it still goes up relative to the dollar. I think our lows were put in a little bit farther back on the US dollar than compared to Ethereum, but
Yeah, for ETH, I'm really looking for sustained prices above 1,700. Once we have that, then it's bullish.
yeah,
Until we have that, who knows?
yeah.
Mm.
But
Okay, nice.
we're
Go
doing
ahead.
if we're looking for a bottom, we're seeing, those signs. Even if it's just a relief rally, kind of a bottom. Um, don't mortgage the wife or husband yet.
Okay. Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. But you can sell a
Uh,
kid or two.
okay. So we got two inputs. Roughly, the market's looking sideways movement, maybe retesting, and correct me if I'm using the wrong words. Retesting. I'm not using the right words.
We're looking for retests, like,
Looking for retest.
yeah, confirmation that so things got to hold.
Things gotta hold. All right, that's a good ending statement in the markets.
Yep, I agree all around.
Okay.
Traditionals too are the same way. ES, futures, everything is text.
To me, I'm super excited to see like just the 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 movement of the prices and what happens based off this, because this is one of the biggest economic changes to a platform I've ever seen. Oh, say that again?
It's taken off lately.
Yeah, sure
Look at
has.
the slope.
Yeah, this like holy
It's
smokes.
nutty.
Yeah, the biggest thing though is that this is for me as like a economics guy. Like this was a huge oh interesting. The market's moving different. Look at it's like right here. Like that's interesting. So anyway, from token economic perspective, I'm geeking out on it a little bit. But cool. Moving on to bank ecosystem. Platforms continued to be on hold. Tokenomics 1.0 is front and center, number one. Olympus Pro, Tokemac, Season 8 plans, not Season 7. We gotta get our fundamentals locked in, just like Ethereum. We gotta take care of what we got. Olympus Pro, and technically I need to change this template because it's Bond protocol now. And Tokemak continues to be willing to interact. So hopefully I'm going to try and get up with them next week just because I'm a dang fanboy. But I post about it in some of my friends' chats, and they're like, they post the gifs of like the screaming girl, and I'm like, yeah, that's appropriate for me. So all right, moving on to Balancer. Different AMMs. Balancer, we're oh, this is Polygon. Balancer, we're sitting on 131,000 worth of depth, and volume, a little bit low, 38 or 384, which I think is okay, because what that says to me is that trades are moving to Uniswap, which is ideal. That's where we want the trades to go. Additionally, on Balancer Polygon, 52,000 in volume, and of course, that changes with the valuation movements of ETH and Bank, and we're sitting on a volume of 285. Sushi is a pool I continue to kind of watch and see interesting things, because I think this is a pool provided by one person, and so like, because it seems like it's being used interestingly. Like, we had an $11,000 trade get put into it about a month ago, and a 5K trade, and here I guess a 1.9K trade. So like some big trades being dropped into just this one pool. But otherwise low, 20K in volume, in TVL, and zero volume. And then Uniswap, the big winner, we got 270K in volume, or in value locked, and then volume of 6K on the daily, roughly. Like, that goes up, but it's hovering around 4 to 2 to 6, 2 to 7. Yeah, there you go. And so fees keep racking up. Let's see, we've generated 9.8 ETH and 1.1 million Bank. Not bad, not bad indeed. And then lastly, Arrakis, and Arrakis is always, it's just a fun. We're sitting on 20K in volume and a 6.26% APR. And we're going to talk about Arrakis a little bit more here in a second. It looks like there's some interest and desire for it on Optimism and elsewhere, or at least I'm seeing, organic desires for liquidity in other places. And so was just thinking about, like, all right, cool, maybe it's time to kick off an Arrakis on Polygon and an Optimism. And then lastly, the Rare pool, continue to watch it as a, this should get wound down, and so we're down to 8.8K of Bank in it, and some loans against DAI that they're generating 14.12% APY. So FYI, things. I think other things is FYI, the Collab Land airdrop has happened. And I think that Bear and Grodd are heading up the claim on that for BanklessDAO as a whole. Also, though, more than likely, every one of you has an airdrop, because we've been involved in messing with Collabland since the very beginning of the DAO. So I think it's like, if you go to wagme.collab.
Yeah. And they got overwhelmed with claims too. So
yeah,
if their site's broke or anything like that, don't worry about it. I think this is available for like 3 months.
Yeah. And you're out Treasury.
Yeah, I think the DAO stewards agreed to work with folks to get the DAO's collab tokens.
Yeah, they're working on it. I know McKeel, like the whole bunch of people were like stepped up to want to help out with it. So they're all coordinating. And I'm hearing about that secondarily, but and then lastly, we do have a snapshot up, so please go vote. That one's about the BDIP 07. So FYI. So for the agenda today, we have quick updates on Tokenomics 1.0. I think want to do a quick update on our proposals, of which we got we had a lot of discussion about yesterday, and then lastly, thought it might be fun to take a quick look at some of the secondary pools that I'm seeing pop up on Polygon and Optimism, and just take a quick look at them. Maybe do some analysis. Is there anything else that anybody wants to talk about, highlight, bring up for the agenda? Balance is golden, and I think as a FYI, I'll have to cut out a little bit early because I am emceeing the community call today, so we're going to end no later than 10 minutes till. So, quick update: Bank Utility Working Group that is solely focused on tokenomics. I mean, honestly, does everybody here know? Okay, I'll just say it in case anybody doesn't. We're solely focused on tokenomics. That's working on implementing it and just moving things forward. I think as the that's it really. I think we're close to, we've got all like the specifications for how we want to design things and set it up, and now we're chewing on the ever-present and difficult challenge of governance and how to take it forward. And I think that we've got a few ways forward that we're kind of going back and forth on. One is gut out the membership requirements and just implement the token. Another is go forward with some of the current settings or current design. Another is something altogether different. Lots of different options, but that's kind of the focus of what happened yesterday on TL Bank. There's a lot of debate about how to move things forward and adhere to our governance, which is difficult at times. I think the only other thing is that in Treasury governance, quick FYI, there is a vote for pull revenue to the multisig, from which I will highlight here, and drop a link into Tokenomics to remind everybody to vote. Yeah, I honestly, I think if I go through things, is that the fee claim we're voting on internally, and then that'll go to the forum, and then once we get consensus on the forum, that'll go to snapshot. TL Bank, we had debate about how taking things forward in terms of governance. I don't think that needs to halt like engaging different parties though. So sprinkles, because I was concerned about like, oh man, did we just block the heck out of you yesterday?
Well, you really didn't yesterday, but I am a bit. So I don't want to say blocked, but I do need a bit more, details as to specific deliverables and what's needed from them.
Great.
I've tagged you in some Notion pages.
Okay, cool. I think I saw those popping up on my phone. I'll respond to those to enable you to keep moving. And then the season pass. I think I think TL Bank is priority, and then season pass is next. I think I owe you some work, Ernest, on organizing that. I was hoping we'd get to it yesterday, but the discussion, we went back and forth on the details on that so much that we didn't get into season pass. So I think we have the details locked in. I think it's just a matter of ironing out the proposals.
Yeah, just waiting for you to hand it off and
yeah, for sure.
Update whatever you got to do first.
Yeah, for me to get the hell out of the way. Yeah. Okay. So that's a big flag for me. High school is a challenge there, but we're close. We're super close. I think that's it in terms of proposals and working group. Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about? Otherwise, we can start looking into the liquidity pools, um, and some of those other things. But I think this is kind of the high level right now. Okay. Yeah. Silence is golden. So let's take a quick look at some of the what other people are working on. I saw up in Splash Zone um, that an L3 wanted to create liquidity on Optimism. A lot of people interested in. I don't know if a lot of people are interested. A number of people were like, "Hey, let's add liquidity on Optimism." Also, yeah, I think it's just a question of this is always the challenge of like it's chicken or the egg over there of like
It's easy to trade
maybe
on there. I mean,
yeah,
it's probably just as easy to trade on Polygon.
Polygon.
And Optimism is because yeah, it's just cheaper to trade on there.
Yeah, and
And I got a bunch
I
of OP tokens, so it's like I
mm-hmm,
already got a balance over there.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's I like Optimism a lot. Like I like Polygon too, but I continue to hear about like developers that are like pulling their hair out about would someone please restart the Polygon network? Like it's so laggy or, as people mint NFTs over there, different challenges. Um, I've never had that challenge, but I hear people that use a lot have had it every now and then. And Optimism just seems so value aligned to Ethereum and kind of the aims of BanklessDAO that it's like it just feels good to me. So, I'm real keen to setting up on Optimism personally. And it looks like there's some desire, so it might be worth I think in the next few weeks just like kick off an Arrakis, managed position. And I don't think we'd have to go through any just because it's permissionless. Arrakis has some permissions on there and like they have gates, but they love working with us. Like they're really quick to respond. Um, I maybe some discussion for another day on whether we need to get any kind of like forum requirements. But anyway, so let's see. I'm seeing so we've got about 751,000 bank over on Optimism. Um, so a slow move, but people are moving some stuff over. And then we've got the what looks like a liquidity pool there, although, volume is super low. It's like it looks like in 24 hours there's one buy and a total liquidity of 4.3 depth. So that's a slippage will be absolutely insane unless you were only buying like 10 bank.
Nice. Do we have those contract addresses anywhere? I know. So I sent some over, some big over. I bridged it over last night, but I can't.
Yep, here you go.
It says thank you.
Mm-hmm. Posting. I think I'm gonna add that to the Notion page too, just for um um for quick and easy reference. Oh,
I know when we first got on Polygon, there was the Polygon channel and project planning, and I used to like pin the the address to the bank token on Polygon and whatever
mhm.
important contract addresses were needed in that channel. Since disappeared, but I always thought having a thread or channel that kind of has those things posted was
Mhm.
real helpful in the beginning because I didn't trust, where I was getting my links from. I was like, okay,
For sure.
I know
Yep.
in our Discord the link is good.
Yeah, let me revive the L2 migration, and we'll just call it, we can change it just to the L2 working group. So we kind of hit everything with that, because it's not so much about migration as it is management. And then here.
Also, I don't know the DAO how-to wikis. That would be a good place to kind of store this information.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know that we have specific. We do have some liquidity providing. We got our last wiki is how to donate to Gitcoin with ZK Sync and how to provide liquidity on Olympus Pro.
Mm-hmm.
So in education departments, we do a Uniswap v3 course and a staking, holding, or providing liquidity to a pool course.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't brought that information into the how-to wikis. We can maybe make sure to do that when we update it. I think
Yeah.
Arrakis is on our list of things to do how-to sessions for as well.
Yeah.
Um,
This is, I really think this is the one, because Uniswap, a lot of liquidity positions, unless you're like actively monitoring it or there's something to it, a lot of retail investors lose.
yeah,
Um, and Arrakis is a great, like, a lot of retail wins.
yes, I feel very much a winner in the Arrakis board.
Yeah, right.
So
And
easy to
that's
manage, or let them
right.
manage it.
Right. It's like you drop it in and you get 6.26%, and you high five yourself to the well, to the bank. So and I think that's because like these ranged Uniswap positions, you know, whoops, why did he send me this one? This
And
is
correct me
up.
if I'm wrong, they're not custodying your funds, but you are giving them permission to manage.
Yeah, it's like the smart contract you're depositing into um
And then they give you an
that
NFT to represent your position instead of a LP token, correct? Is that
I think so. Let me see.
I just had that come up the other day and I was unclear. I was like, I know they're not custodying, but you are giving
Mm,
them permission to manage your position.
yeah, I'm not sure. That's a great question. Let me take a look at my account. You can see I'm very busy playing with Tokenomics, but it would be, no, I'm not sure. Okay, something to talk about later. Um,
But that's the kind of the key points to the Arrakis. I would say is if you kind of understand it is
yeah,
they
it's
aren't
that
custodying your funds, they
that's
are
right.
managing them, and I think you get a LP NFT, not a LP token.
Right. And I think they're very, like, they're really decentralized. Like, it was when we were doing an analysis investigation on them a year ago. Um they were the most efficient smart contracts, and that was kind of their claim to fame. And previously it was Gelato, and Gelato was a like Gelato is it's powered by Gelato. Arrakis is the snazzy front end because people are like Gelato. I don't really. It's not sexy. It's not cool. But their smart contracts were, in my opinion, the best. Like they were just super fast, super simple compared to some of the competitive range position groups. Arrakis, they do great. It's really good. I continued. My opinion continues to be is like anybody that just wants to drop some liquidity in, this is the place to do it. So,
Well, and I wonder
and
if they give you an NFT, if you can then lock up that NFT on Hedgie, because
maybe.
right,
Let
because
me see. It's composability. Let me see.
because I'm essentially once I have to liquidate my Arrakis position in order to lock up the bank, I'm now going to be like 5 to 8% down because of gas fees, and have to take that as a loss. But if I could just lock up my Arrakis position and still use that for being recognized by the DAO for membership, but
Yeah, well, so I think there's some fun conversations to be had right there. I think, because we could kick up a bond market, so like the DAO could um swap you bank for your Arrakis position, because that's what we were doing with like the bond market before. There's lots of fun things we can do with that conversation. Um, so yeah, so actually, what you get is you get G Uni, which is a an LP position. It looks like on Arrakis, and then they with their smart contracts manage the position.
then I think they
I
give
think.
you an NFT, right? I don't think you're
Uh,
actually holding the G Uni ever.
so I'm seeing G Uni in my wallet.
Oh, gotcha.
So I think that this is the Gelato Uniswap Bank. Like this is specifically the Gelato Uniswap Bank ETH LP position.
Oh, gelato, not Arrakis.
So it is Arrakis.
Okay.
Gelato is the smart contract infrastructure.
Oh, gotcha.
Arrakis is the cool, snazzy, good marketing front end.
The implementation of that back end.
You got it. You got it. And that's the thing is like Gelato, they're technically like, feel free to, um, implement our smart contracts however you want. Whew. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me. Yeah. Okay. So Lucas, contract creator, but we, BanklessDAO whole owns it. Anyway, I gotta continue to bump this. This is like, hey, people use this thing. Anyway, so let me take a quick look at the Polygon addresses. I think honestly, everybody, this is kind of it. Unless anybody wants to look at some of the other liquidity pools. No, I'm gonna take silence as people would prefer to have get a 20 minutes back. Helpful for me because I'm gonna go prep for. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering if anyone else has bridged any bank tokens over to Optimism.
Not
I
bad.
have.
No? Yes. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't hear.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, because I bridged. I mean, I just sent like 5,000 over last night, and I don't see it on the other end. Does it take a while to get there?
It shouldn't take a day.
No, it should take like only 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What's your address? You sprinklesforwinners.eth.
BanklessWinners.eth.
Great.
Whoa,
Okay,
that's
so
a good one.
that is a good one. All right. So Bankless Winners.
nice thing about ENS domains is if you attach Bankless to any of them, it instantly drops the cost of your ENS domain down to a reasonable cost.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Well, because it just lengthens your URL. So the longer your URL
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
right? So
Yep.
you add Bankless. It just puts you in a bracket.
We could do a little bit of quick troubleshooting if you want to share your screen and show what you're seeing. If you want, Sprinkles.
Um,
I'm not seeing you on the token holders.
no. So, I don't have MetaMask on my MetaMask on this computer, but I can walk you through it on yours. If you go back to my address there.
Yep.
And then my last transaction.
Oh yeah, still pending.
Did you have low gas on?
I don't think so. I mean, it was just.
Not that it should matter, but I mean, you didn't intentionally set your gas low.
No.
For any reason.
It may be worth you giving it a speed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doing the
10%.
like pump the transaction. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right, everybody. If you got any trouble, Sprinkles, bring it up in Tokenomics. But that's a wrap for today. I think big things is expect some async conversations about the proposals. Please go vote if you haven't voted already. That's going to wrap up tomorrow in the Treasury Governance channel on the Uniswap LP revenue poll. We got 13 votes right now. If you vote, you're cool. You're cool anyway. That's a wrap. Thank you all for your time.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, everybody.